looking for her very own sunshine. All alone in her faith, many roads to travel, but she don't mind.
Hi, good evening, and welcome to our show. My name is Alexandria, and today we are with Lambent Risk Management. Tim and Michael, thank you for joining us today.
Nice to be here, Alexandria.
Thank you. So, can you give us an idea about what is it that you do at Lambent Risk Management?
Sure. Lambent Risk Management, we are a full-service insurance brokerage firm here in Chicago. We operate not only in Chicago, but also the Midwest. Lambent was started by Shirley Evans Wolford in 2001. And she built the business up. It's become one of the largest minority-owned commercial insurance companies in the city.
Okay. So, what are the most important insurance items on your list today?
So, most of Lambent's business is with commercial businesses, but Lambent also provides services to personal insurance individuals, as well as group benefit plans for companies. So it's a multi-line agency, and the things that our clients are asking us about the most is, how do I ensure that I'm getting adequate coverage at the right price? And to do that requires a consultative conversation about what their risks are, what their current program is doing or not doing, and how we can improve it.
So how do they go about doing that? Do they come to you right away, or when they first start a business? When would they reach out to you?
That can be multiple ways, but go ahead, Michael.
So a lot of times, if a small business is opening up, there are times when they don't even know what they don't know. And they don't know whether or not they need coverage. A lot of times they don't even know what a broker is and what the broker, if they need a broker, what it can do for them. A lot of times we get referrals and with the understanding that someone has just opened a business, and we reach out and say, okay, listen, how can we help you make sure that your business is insured properly?
Mm-hmm.
Or existing businesses, a lot of times, especially these days, it becomes time to renew their insurance coverage, which usually renews on an annual basis, and the premium goes up 25%, 50%, so it depends. Then they start asking questions. Is this right? Is there any way to get adequate coverage without having such a large increase? That's where we can help.
See, and a lot of times, as I said, the business owner, they don't know what they don't know. Their job is not to be an insurance expert. Their job is to run the business. All right. And what we found is, in a lot of cases, they're not getting the consultation or the expert advice that's necessary, so they're not paying exorbitant premiums. And if there's a reason for price increases, there's someone there to explain why this happened, why this took place.
Mm-hmm. So when a business owner is starting off, it's probably best for them to reach out to someone like you.
Yes.
Before they even get started, just so they can avoid maybe those hikes every year with premiums.
Not just that, but also making sure that they're purchasing the right coverage.
Yeah.
And then do you take the time to sit with them individually to figure out if they are getting the right coverage?
Yes, because our tagline as a company is personal service.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that's missing today, especially in the marketplace. Everyone's driven to an 800 number or online. We focus on making sure that the customer or the client is receiving that personal one-on-one service from us.
And what should they bring when they come to you for this personal service? What information do you require?
information about the business and the operations, the number of employees, the number of vehicles, number of buildings, equipment, and then we can have a conversation about what they actually do in their business and what types of risks are common for that industry. So it's a back and forth conversation where we help the clients assess their risk by identifying what those risks are for that business and then classifying those risks. There's very large but usually infrequent things that can happen to your business that will put you out of business, okay? The business owners are usually quite aware of those things, and they do everything every day to avoid those things from ever happening. Then on the other end of the spectrum, there's nuisance risk. These are little claims, little things that happen frequently, and you just need to get good at handling those and paying them and getting rid of them as quickly as possible so it's not disrupting your business. But in between there is a whole range of risks that may need to be transferred from the company to a third party. And that's where we can help assess, okay, what is that risk? Do you really want to keep that risk, or would you rather buy an insurance policy and transfer that risk to somebody else?
Now, what if they're like a little mom and pop? They're not making that much money. Will they still come to you, or should it be waiting until they make that $1 million corporation? When should they reach out to you? Is there a dollar amount that you guys require for these small businesses?
That's a good question. That's a very good question, because insurance companies have what's called BOPs, business owner policies. They're made for the mom and pops. All right, so they're for lack of a better phrase, are cookie cutter, specific for a small business, so they don't have to spend a lot of money. It just covers the basic needs, and as they grow, then they can go to a different platform of coverage. So to answer the question, yes, mom and pops still need the consultation and the coverage.
So before seeing an ad on TV and calling up an insurance company and trying to figure it out themselves, they should call an independent broker. So that's what Lambent Risk Management is. We are not an insurance company. We are the broker with relationships with 200 insurance companies. Yes. So we help assess, okay, yes, you're a mom and pop business. Is a business owner policy the right thing for you at this time, for this year? Maybe, maybe not. But that's where contacting an independent broker like Lambent Risk Management would be the right move. And to that point, Tim just brought up a good point regarding the consultation to that small business owner, to the mom and pop. The focus could be the coverage, but do you have a business continuity plan? What's your plan if something happened to you as an individual? Do you have something in place that the business will continue on if something happened to you? You know, that needs to be addressed as well.
And you help assist that?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And do you just focus on commercial, or do you help the individuals as well as it's just me and you? Would I come to you as, you know, I have no business, but I might have some risk in my life that I might need to manage. Would you assist me?
Yes. As I mentioned early on, we are full service. We cover all lines of insurance.
Okay.
So you might need a life insurance policy.
Or a disability insurance policy.
Okay. And when should I start thinking about that as an individual?
Well,
in your opinion, like
as far as on the personal side, as soon as it comes to your mind.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're thinking about it, it's probably something you should look into.
Now, for the commercial side, you guys are working with a lot of clients with $1 million policies. Can you tell me something about that?
So we work with lots of different kinds of businesses. We have a lot of clients that are contractors, general contractors, subcontractors. So we help assess their need on a job-by-job basis for bonding. It could be their auto and equipment coverage, if they have buildings, and they need property and workers' comp if they have a number of employees. So the big common risks and policies that contractors need are general liability, professional liability, auto, and workers' comp.
Would that be considered an umbrella policy?
No.
Oh,
An umbrella is on top of all of that.
Okay.
So the policies are written to cover specific risks, and each policy has a definition of what it covers and what it doesn't cover. And then there's an umbrella policy that goes over those basic policies that says if there's a risk that is above the limits of these base policies, then the umbrella policy will cover that risk.
Yes.
But at each level, you have to really read the policies, and you have to have some experience reading the policies to understand what's really covered and what's not covered. Because the last thing you want to be is in a position where you think you've got coverage, and then something happens, and then you find out you don't have coverage.
But that's why someone comes to you.
Very
Exactly.
good. That's exactly what I was going to say. That's why it's important to have a broker like us to help, because we're the professionals. Again, you're the business owner. You're running your business. All right? It's our job to make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed on your behalf.
Okay. So what should I expect to pay to run my company if I go to you? How does that break down?
That's a good question, because it all depends on the number of employees that you have, how large, the size of your business, the cost you may incur for running the business. There's a lot of variables that come into play. So, someone would have to come in and analyze your business to give you a better idea of what it would cost to do that.
Now, is there like any coverage that's mandatory to run a business?
Yes, there is.
For general contractors, they're going to need if they're going to do business with the state. They need general liability, professional liability, and workers' comp at a minimum.
Auto.
And auto. Well, but everybody needs auto.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, how do you determine how much that individual will need?
So, as Tim was alluding to, if it's, for instance, you are doing a job for, let's say it's the state of Illinois, they will tell you what you're going to need. And then the contractor will come to us and say, this is what they're telling me that I need.
And now, are you just in the Midwest, or where are you located? Are you guys just regional?
Well, our local office is 141 West Jackson, right in the loop. But again, we service the Midwest, and if necessary, we are talking with a prospective client right now in California. So we can even do business in California. We'll do business in California as well.
Okay, so Midwest and California, put on the
Florida.
list.
Yeah.
Florida as well?
New York, we do business in New York as well.
But you two are specialized here in the Midwest, right?
Specialized, I'll say we're local. We're specialized in any place. We're locally in the Midwest.
Most of our clients are here.
Yes, that's yes.
In Illinois.
Now, is errors and omissions? Okay. So, can you tell me some more about anything that you're currently working on?
Do you want to?
We have some clients that are going through transition, meaning they were acquired or they're acquiring other businesses, and so we're helping them figure out where their coverages need to change for that transition. We have new clients that we're talking to in the not-for-profit space, rural contractors doing government contracting. We also provide services for other brokers that need a minority-owned agent as a sub-broker because they're doing business with the state that requires a certain percentage of the insurance spend to be with minority agents. So those are just a few of the things that we're working on.
Why is bonding so difficult?
Because of bonding is difficult because let's say for the general contractor, there's a dollar amount tied to it. Financials have to be presented. There's a lot of information that has to be turned over to the financial institution, and in some cases, I don't want to say a lot of cases, in some cases, the contractor can't meet those obligations, the requirements.
So what do they do in that situation?
They don't receive the bonding.
So and that can inhibit their ability to be awarded the contracts. So
yes.
It's all of those things that make each individual bond difficult, but it's also timing and the volume of bonds that they need. They need a bond for every job, sometimes multiple bonds. So there's a lot of information to gather. It's got to get sent to the insurance company, and it has to be clear so that it goes right through. If there's a lot of back and forth, that can delay the bid, then they can lose business.
But can you assist in avoiding those delays?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we have service people that specialize in bonding,
Yes.
that know all those pitfalls and make sure that that doesn't happen.
Okay. And can you explain errors and omissions at $1 million limit?
Well, first of all, errors and omissions, that the need for errors and omissions is important because me as a business, if I'm running a business, I want to make sure that my employees are doing the right thing. All right, and if something goes awry, or if an error was made, that coverage, the coverage will take care of that mistake that took place. Now the question is $1 million of E&O important? Is it necessary? That all depends. That's where we would have to come in and look at the situation to determine whether or not will $1 million be necessary or more.
And that gets back to the risk assessment.
Yes,
so what types of services are you providing? What are the risks that can happen in that type of work? What has the history been? How many errors have there been, and how large were they? Those sorts of things go into assessing how much risk you really want to cover.
Well, how quickly can I receive coverage?
That's a good question. Depending on the risk, if the risk is minimal, coverage can be had within a matter of a few hours. Mm-hmm. But if it is a high risk, if there's a lot involved, it could take some time. It could take some work on our part to determine, based on underwriting and the like, how long it would take to cover that risk.
What type of information should a potential client have before they come to you, just so that when they do have this consultation, that the process is quickly
go smoothly?
Yeah. What should they do?
For existing businesses, the easiest thing to do is to just look at the existing policies.
Okay.
Just get copies of the existing policies to start the conversation. If there aren't existing policies, then we would start with just the description of the business. What are the assets that need to be covered? How many employees? and talk about how the operation of the business and what things have gone wrong in the past, what keeps the owner up at night, and develop an insurance program through that conversation.
Now, will they be able to do this online, or should they contact you directly, or go into your office?
Well, again, our tagline is personal service.
Okay.
So we would prefer one-on-one consultation. But if
Is there a phone number?
yeah, if they desire to do something like that online, we do that as well. But we can be reached at, of course, 312-220-9200. That's our main line, and that'll direct us to Tim, myself, other team members within the organization.
And where are you located again?
Our office is 141 West Jackson at the Board of Trade.
Okay, and they can show up anytime, or is there a time of day?
Well,
5
our
days a
offices,
week?
our offices, our office hours are 8:30 to 5, Monday through Friday.
And how long have you guys been doing this?
Oh, do we have to go there?
5 years, 10 years. I mean,
For me, 1986.
okay.
Just a couple of years. Why are you laughing like that?
I mean, it was just yesterday,
Right.
you know.
I started my business career that long ago, but I've only been in insurance for about the last 10 years. Prior to that, I was in business consulting.
Anything you guys are currently working on that you're excited about?
We're excited about everything that we're working on. Yes.
There's a large foundation in Chicago that has been talking to us about some things that they need. That's exciting. That's confidential, but that would be a name that almost everybody would recognize. And there's the opportunities for minority-owned independent insurance brokers are gigantic. The need for minority-owned businesses to be able to participate in these grant awards that are coming to the state of Illinois and from the federal government, it's in the billions. So being a part of that is pretty exciting.
Well, how would the small businesses know about these grants?
So that's through the various government agencies. Just Googling, state of Illinois grants and finding the available programs that fit their projects is a way to start, but we can help them find that too.
So what sets Lambert Risk Management apart from other risk managers here in Chicago?
With other brokers?
Yeah.
One of the things that again, we like to focus on is our personal service. I don't want to say that I'm old school, but I remember back in the day when personal service was important. The one-on-one, sitting down, talking with someone, and looking them in the eye, asking them about their challenges. It's not that I'm saying that I'm old, but I'm a techie, and I do like online technology. I think that's awesome. But when it comes to things like this, we like to sit down with you, talk with you, work with you, meet with you on a regular basis, and hold your hand through the process.
And develop relationship, right? I mean, we have clients that have been with the agency from the beginning, and then you get to know the individuals and their families, and then their kids, and it's building those kinds of relationships, and doing business with people that you like, and that's the situation that we're looking for. Insurance
in general, it's a commodity. Everybody does it. Everybody can do it. In industry, everybody, you can go and buy insurance online, but do you understand what you're doing? Are you comfortable with that transaction? We want to make sure we build a relationship and making sure you're comfortable with what you're doing.
and building trust. I mean, it's important to build the trust along with that relationship, so that clients refer us to other clients, and they have the confidence that they're covered and they can sleep at night.
And you provide that comfort for them.
That's right.
Yeah, what we like is when we hear from an employer, let's say the owner of the company, a question is raised by someone within the company, and they say, call Ambit. Don't ask me, call Ambit. Mm-hmm. See, the owner knows that we've got them taken care of. So
you take some stress off the
That's our job.
You know, and another thing that we haven't talked about yet, which we probably should, that goes along with our personal service, is claims management. Mm-hmm. So when there's a claim, a lot of businesses would really prefer not to deal with the insurance company, right? We help mitigate those claims, get them paid, and develop a safety program to prevent those claims in the future, so there's fewer claims to deal with, and then if you bring the claims down, the premium comes down.
Yes.
So you just help assist them in managing all that.
The risk,
the
exactly.
Risk management.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's right.
Absolutely.
It's one less thing that owner will have to worry about, or individual, because you also work with
individuals as
work
well.
with everybody.
Right.
Yes.
And when an insurance program is working well, the total cost of risk decreases over time. Okay. So when that starts to happen, now the business owner really has trust and confidence that we're doing the right things and working together, and then we can help them actually grow their business. By that point, we know the business very well, and we can bring business consulting ideas to help grow revenues and reduce costs, or deal with employee issues, whatever their business needs are.
So as soon as they have a problem, they say, call Lambert.
That's right.
Yes.
Don't talk to me,
That's correct.
talk to you.
That's correct.
Any time of day, 7 days a week. I just want to make sure, it seems like this is something, if you're a business owner, small or big, you guys, they should reach out to you guys.
Yes.
And help them manage their company as far as risk.
Yes.
You know, those pitfalls they're bound to face as a business owner.
Yes, that is correct. That's correct.
And they shouldn't feel ashamed if you're a small mom and pop. You know, don't worry. You can still be helped out.
And
$1 million business.
Alexandria, you bring that's another good point you're bringing up, because some firms they don't want to deal with a mom and pop because they're mom and pop. All right, they're mom and pop today, but 5 years from now, who knows what they can be. All right, so we do have a team that focuses on providing special service to the small business owner.
Mm-hmm. And there shouldn't be any shame in acknowledging what you know and what you don't know.
Yes.
Nobody can be an expert in everything. So it's really the best clients for us that are comfortable, explaining what they are worried about, what they know about insurance, and what they don't know about insurance, and what they need help with. The quicker we can get to those kind of conversations, the more value we can bring.
What do you find that most people don't know about insurance?
First of all, the difference between an insurance company and a broker like Lambent. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
May I?
Go ahead. Go for it.
We were just talking. We were just talking about that. I'm dealing with a prospective client right now, and I sat down with him in his company, and I said, he's telling me his challenges, sharing with me his challenges. I said, so who's your broker? He looks at me, I don't have a broker. Well, who's helping you through this process? I don't have anyone. So where's this information? Well, someone referred us to this insurance company. So a lot of times you're dealing with these employers are dealing directly with an insurance company. This monolith 800 number, and they don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. And they're asking, why are my rates continuing to go up and no one's helping me?
Right. And in those situations, that's where you get stuck in a package can policy that may or may not fit your business. I'm sure by the time we're done analyzing those risks, we're going to find that he doesn't know the coverages that he doesn't have. He thinks he's got limits and certain coverages, but we'll help educate and then assess the risks, get proper coverage, and then explain the costs.
Should they contact you first before the insurance company, or at the same time, or will you assist them in that process?
That's right. They should contact us first as the broker.
Okay.
And we have relationships with the insurance companies. We'll find the right insurance company with the right program for each business.
So in this particular example, in this particular situation, if he had the broker could advocate for the client and say, listen, if we can't do anything about these rates, we may need to go to another carrier. Mm-hmm. But
right. So that brings up a great point too. So when we say we have relationships with all these insurance companies, we know the underwriters at those insurance companies, and they know us. Mm-hmm. So we can communicate at a level of understanding that will generate better coverage at a lower price for the business, for the client.
So what we will do is negotiate on behalf of the client.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about these insurance companies, they've got staffs of underwriters that are trying to write these insurance policies all day long, and sometimes they get good information about the risk that they're being asked to cover, and sometimes they don't. They're humans, right? They like the ones that have all the information and it's easy to write. They don't like the ones that are incomplete or misleading or confusing and they have to go back 4 or 5 times and all. Which one do you think is going to get the better price? Mm-hmm. They have more confidence when they're working with a broker that they know.
Mm-hmm. And that's where you come in and you basically take that load off that business owner.
That's right.
They have questions about their premium. You're here. You're the expert. You work for them and you assist them. You're not working for an insurance company directly. You work with that personal individual.
That's correct.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say. I'm glad you said that. Because that's important, right? We are advocates for the client, mm-hmm. right? Yes, we have relationships with all the insurance companies, but on a policy by policy basis, our job is to advocate for the client.
Because you know your client.
That's right.
You know their business because you have that personal touch.
There you go.
That's right.
Now, when that personal client comes to you and they get the letter saying, hey, my premiums went up, mm-hmm. they contact you directly?
Yes.
Say, I don't have to worry about it. You'll handle it. And
That's
then,
right.
Will that insurance company also notify you guys since you do have that
Yes, they'll
personal
notify us as well. Yes.
Yeah. So what happens is over time, insurance companies' appetite for risk changes. Mm. Okay? So right now, homeowners insurance in Florida is a great example. There was a period of time where claims were relatively low, and all the insurance companies wanted to insure mm-hmm. these homes in Florida. Yep. Okay. Then there were 4 hurricanes close together. Now the insurance companies don't want anything to do with anything that has a roof in Florida. So when it comes time for the homeowners to renew their policy, they're being denied. Their insurance company is saying, we're not going to rewrite that policy. or we're not going to renew that policy, I should say. Then they're scrambling. Now they have to find other insurance companies that are, if they can find one, that are willing to write that coverage, and the premiums are going through the roof.
Yeah. Yes.
But to clients who has Lambent risk management, doesn't have to worry about that, I'm assuming.
Well, there's no, in extreme cases like that, there's no broker that can wave a magic wand and keep the same coverage at the same price. But what we can do is figure out for that particular home which insurance companies still have some appetite for that risk, and what are they offering, and where's the best fit for that home. There's also the E&S market, the specialty market, that in extreme cases like that, the standard insurance companies all run away from it. They can't cover it. But there are specialty insurance companies that focus on one specific risk like that, and develop a program for that you have to then find through a broker. You're not going to find them. Right?
Find through you.
That's right.
As a broker.
Right. So if I can go back for a minute to you asked about, or you made the comment about if the clients or the business owner's insurance rate goes up, they reach out to us. There may be situations in which the rate increase is actually legitimate. Something took place throughout the year, a slip and fall, or a death, damage to a building. But our job is still to do our best to find coverage that would help potentially reduce that increase.
Yeah. So that's the claim management piece that we were talking about a little bit.
Right.
So what insurance companies want to know at that point is, okay, what are you doing to mitigate that same thing from happening again in the future? And that's where we would make sure there's controls in place to make sure that risk doesn't occur again. And then communicate that to the underwriters at the insurance company so they can have confidence that that's in place. And in large claims like that, they're going to send out adjusters and auditors to gather the information themselves, and we help through that process.
So it won't be any delays in the process
That's
of
right.
being covered.
That's correct.
Oh, it's like just load off that individual's chest, just having you guys here to do the work for them and have that security that you guys have their back.
That's right.
Yeah.
We have the client's back so they can grow their business.
In another aspect of our business is to, with our relationship with the client, is provide a stewardship report. So, in a lot of instances, the broker will write the coverage for the client and just renew it every year. Just 3 months before it's time for renewal, they come out or they call and do their number. What we like to do is meet with you and say, listen, this is what we've done for you throughout the year. This is a report. This is how we've been managing your business, from the insurance side, risk side, claims side, claims advocacy, every aspect of the business. This is what we've been doing. How do you feel about this? What should we, as a broker, what do you think we need to improve on? So, because we're helping you, but you need to help us as well, so we can make sure that we're taking care of you the way that you should be taken care of.
And we don't just write the report and send it. We actually, deliver the report and discuss it, and it creates another opportunity to then talk about the business. What's changing? What are the plans for the next year? What kind of expansion is on the horizon? Is there any other risks that need to be added to the program? Those sorts of conversations.
Okay. Thank you. So we had something about London. You want to get into that?
Lloyd's of London.
Yeah.
You want to touch on that?
So Lloyd's of London is one of the most widely known insurance companies, one of the oldest insurance companies in the world, and so it has the reputation as sort of the gold standard of insurance companies in terms of financial stability and the things that they do, the best in the world. The industry has changed quite a bit. Lloyd's of London now is sort of, I guess, it's still like the insurer of last resort. Okay, so when there's very, very large specialty risks, those are the things that find their way to Lloyd's of London. For most of the clients that we're working with, it's really not something that is a good fit for them. But we do have some policies placed through them. It's just a common question, though, because people are familiar with that name and they ask about it.
Mm-hmm. So it's just not. They can still come to you guys, even though they might be a big company. Coming to you guys was still beneficial.
Depending on the risk, Lloyd's may be an option, but not necessarily. So because as Tim said, there are many carriers out there that in today's market that would suffice.
Mm-hmm. But the client won't know until they come to you.
Correct.
we can help them sort through those questions.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to mention?
I'll say something that you can finish. The reputation of Lambent Risk Management in Chicago is something that we feel very strongly about maintaining going forward. Shirley Evans built the premier minority-owned insurance agency in Chicago in her prime, and we are now the stewards of that agency. We provide world-class strategy on the things that we do as good as any other broker, and when it comes to general contracting, not-for-profit, small business, personal insurance, we are our people are as skilled as the employees of larger brokerages. Lambent is not the largest broker in Chicago, but we are as good in providing those services that we do provide, but we do it with personal service. We take our client relationships very seriously. We're not trying to be the biggest agency. We want to do business with the clients and the people that we like.
Oh, that's well said.
That was well said. I think Tim made a very good point. Shirley Evans Wolford started this business with a desire to provide world-class service, and she's done an excellent job in doing so. And we just want to continue that legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Good. So where can they find you again?
So again, our office is 141 West Jackson, right down at the Board of Trade. We can be reached at 312-220-9200 is our main number.
Mm-hmm.
Or just Google Lambent.
Lambent Risk Management.
And you're 7 days a week, available.
That's right.
Yeah. This is great. Thank you for taking the time out to speak with us and to tell us about Lambent Risk Management. I think we all learned something today.
Well, thank you for inviting us. We really appreciate the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I just want to point out that no matter if you're big or small, come to you first for your risk management needs, and you will help them through the process. of figuring out what is that they need as an individual.
Yes. Yes.
You got it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I think we got a few more minutes.